All right, Shalom. First and foremost, before I get started, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and rule well. Peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect, pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. To you I say Shalom. This is the brother Yeshaya coming at you again through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai, back again with another lesson. This is going to be a quick one, pretty much touching on this video and, go and get some precepts and Lord willing to be edifying. But I'm going to play this video real quick. As you see the title, it says, The Most Heinous Crime, Man Accused of Dismembering Mother in Natchez Home. All right, so I'm going to play this and we'll get some precepts.
We begin tonight with a story you will only see here on 12 News. New details tonight about the brutal murder of Lena Brown Bradley, her youngest son accused of killing her. But it's what investigators found after searching for the retired educator that is so shocking. Adams County Sheriff Travis Patton sat down with me one-on-one. We must warn you that some of the details from the crime are graphic. Out as a welfare check on Melanie Road in Natchez on April 4th has shaken this historic city on the river.
That night, I felt like changed every last one of us.
Longtime and respected member of the Adams County community and retired educator, Lena Brown Bradley, was dead. But that's not all. It's the way she died.
This was one of those cases that you will never, ever forget in your life. This is the type of case that follows you home.
Deputies were called to this home after her oldest son couldn't reach his mother the previous day. Two of her other sons lived in the house with her. Her middle son had been working.
As soon as they walked in the house, they could just see where somebody had been cleaning up at it, and they could smell chemicals all throughout the house. Floor was extremely slippery, and the oldest son said that this is just unusual for the youngest son to be cleaning up the house like that.
The youngest son, Zachary Jackson Jr., was found locked in a downstairs bathroom where deputies could hear water slashing.
And the fact that when he opened that bathroom, deputies could see a black substance in the toilet that wasn't described as anything that would come, from your body in that way. They were disturbed at what they were seeing.
So the sheriff ordered a full search of the area. The property sat on about 2 acres of land and was surrounded by heavily wooded areas with a bayou and creeks. So they called for help from the Mississippi Bureau of Investigations. Time was not on their side as storms were coming and evidence could be lost.
Family members went to the left. My deputies went right. Next thing you know, as both my deputies and the family were trekking through this wooded area, the deputies heard a scream. They heard someone yelling, "It's a head. It's a head." And of course, everything changed at that point. It was like they were frozen in time because nobody could believe what they were hearing.
They also found a suitcase, but their biggest find would be inside the house after the sheriff called in a plumber to remove the toilet.
I can say what was in the toilet, and it was her flesh. He chopped her up in pieces. He dismembered her in a way where he knew that whoever came looking for her were going to have to do their due diligence, and they were going to have to go above and beyond to find her. And that's what we did. Mm-hmm. We found her. We found where he started to dispose of her at, and we had to get excavators out to get the rest of her.
So he spread her body parts over the property?
No. He had body parts in the suitcase, and then he flushed the rest down the toilet. He took his time and he dismembered her in a way where he can discard the pieces down the toilet.
So they were small pieces?
There were a lot. And I'm not trying to sensationalize what he did, but that's just what he did.
What happened at this home has left many in this community wondering what went so wrong.
He had threatened her the day before because she was looking to have him evicted from the home. So she was in the process of doing it and had just went to the court the day before to have him removed from the home.
29-year-old Zachary Lavelle Jackson Jr. is charged with first and second-degree murder, mayhem, and tampering with physical evidence. He remains in jail without bond. His next court date is tomorrow. Now, Sheriff Patton wanted to emphasize to us that despite the family for many years questioning the son's mental health, a family and friends can only do so much if a grown adult does not want to seek help. Tomorrow night at 6 and 10, we look.
All right, so there it is, man. You know, you heard that. You know, the spirits are out here, man. These spirits of vengeance, man. These spirits that pretty much are infiltrating these people's minds, man, and making them bug out and react, you know, in a pretty much in a murder mindset, right? And you know, this is what we've been telling y'all, man, especially you Jakes, man, that these are the times that we're coming into, man, where we're gonna see more and more of this, right? Especially in these times that we're coming into where resources are gonna be scarce, right? Where money is gonna be scarce. You know, people are gonna be in a state of pretty much disarray, you know, perplexity at an all-time high. You know, people are just gonna react, man. They're just gonna be in a reactive type of mindset to where they're not gonna think about what they're doing. They're just gonna try to, you know, escape whatever terror, whatever trouble, whatever, you know what I'm saying, position that they're put in. And, you know, it's gonna lead them to react in a harsh manner. Right? You saw this, you know, this guy dismembered his mother, flushed her down the toilet, chopped her out to pieces, put some in a suitcase. This is some crazy shit, man. You see? But let me read this real quick. This is 2 Timothy 3:1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. Right? Let me look at this word for perilous, man. This is the times that we're living in, man, where we're hearing shit like this. And it's not just a one thing, you know, one occurrence. This is like happening very frequently. Now, not this exact same thing, but just, you know, people offing themselves, offing their parents, offing their children, right? Family members, friends, you know, mass shootings, right? Terrorist attacks, especially once these sleeper cells start really become activated, because you know when them borders, when there's people that were coming over the border, you know, that were from China, India, you know, all these other different places, Russia, right? You have people in here that were specifically planted here in order to cause chaos, man. Again, those spirits created for vengeance, and I'm gonna get that precept here soon. But this is the word for perilous. This is hard to do, to take, to approach, hard to bear, troublesome, dangerous, harsh, fierce, savage, right? So some savage times are coming, man. Dangerous times. All right, where you're gonna be faced with trouble on all sides. You're gonna be, you know, in trouble with the law. You're gonna be in trouble with the people around you. You know, there's gonna be trouble everywhere. Even your own family members, you're gonna be having trouble with. As you saw this lady, she had a problem with her son, right? Try to get him evicted. Who knows what he was doing? He's probably a freeloader, a damn nigga not doing shit. And look at him. Look what he did. Because she was trying to evict him, she got killed for it, right? And that's not to say that, oh, you know, she's innocent and this and that, because the scriptures talk about no one perishes being innocent. As a matter of fact, let me get that. This is Job 4 and verse 7. It says, remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent. So this was judgment at the end of the day, right? Whether it's what she did in this life or in the past life, at the end of the day, it's all judgment. But it says, or where were the righteous cut off? So now, let's get another one. Let's get Matthew, because Yahushua talked about this too. Matthew, so like, yeah, I'm over here, fingers over here. Matthew 24 and 12. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. You see, the love of many is waxing cold, man. Let me read this in the NLT. It says, sin will be rampant everywhere, right? Isn't that what you see? Everywhere you go, man, sin is promoted. Wickedness is promoted, right? It says, and the love of many will grow cold. Exactly, man. People don't give a shit no more, right? People are in this selfish mindset, you know. Scriptures talk about how people shall be lovers of their own selves, right? That's in 2 Timothy 3. You know, I just had that, but I don't want to go all into it, right? So people are all about themselves. They're self-centered. They don't give a shit about their family. They don't give a shit about their, so-called community, right? It's all about how I can get mine, right? Fuck everybody else. And it's going to be even more so, again, like I said, once this economy starts to collapse. Once these plagues start to hit America, and we're about to see a whole new chapter, of savagery. All right? Now let me see, let's get Sirach 39 and 28. Like I said, I want to make this quick. I don't want to make this too long. Sirach, what does it say? 39, 28. 39, 28. It says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. You see? So there's a lot of spirits out here, man. Right? And then you have, just to add to this, you have CERN opening up these portals, bringing in demonic spirits. Who knows if these spirits are infiltrating people's minds, jumping into people, man, having them commit all kinds of atrocities, all kinds of evils, man, all kinds of murders, right? But it says, so there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. Sleeper cells out here, man. People just bugging out, man. Bugging the fuck out. Having no remorse, right? No thought of what they're doing. Especially these new generation, man. They have this glazed look in their eye, to where it seems like they're not fully there. Right? Almost like they're possessed. And when this time comes, when they get fully unleashed, man, we're about to see, like I said, man, it's going to be like Mad Max out here, man. But it says, in the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. You see? So this is all ultimately judgment that's been pre-planned by Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. The Most High has put these people out here to create all this evil, man, to create all this, havoc, right? And just to add to that, let's get that in Isaiah 45 and 7. It says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. You see, so the Most High is in charge of all this, man. Right? The Most High creates all this evil. He creates peace, he creates evil, he creates light, he creates dark. Right? There's no getting around that. Let's get another one. Let's get Deuteronomy 32 and 39. It says, see now, I, even I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. You see, so all this, this was all orchestrated by Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Whether the Most High sent the left-hand angels, to come out here, them death angels, right, to come out here and execute vengeance, right? Execute, the wrath of the Lord. It's at the end of the day, it's all the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Right? Now let me close it off with this. Ephesians 5 and verse 14. It says, I'll start at 14. It says, wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Hamashiach shall give thee light. That's right, man. And that's to you tribes, man. Right? Wake up from this fucking sleep that you're in, man. Can't you fucking see the world around you? Right? As they say in the world, man, smell the roses, man. This shit, we ain't back in, 1980s. We ain't in the 1970s. We ain't in the 1990s, man. This is a whole different era, man. Where you're seeing the signs, man. The fact that the prophets are out here and pointing the signs out, and you can actually see them in the news, right? And even in your day-to-day life, you can see what we're saying is coming to pass and is true, right? Don't keep your head in the sand. But it says, wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, which we understand, those that's going to be awake are only going to be the elect, right? Was it Romans 11 and 7, right? What then Israel had not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election had obtained it, and the rest were blinded, right? So only the elect are going to receive it at the end of the day. 2/3 is still going to stay asleep. 2/3 is still going to be, carrying on, with their bullshit. This is all destiny. It's all predestined by Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. But it says, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Hamashiach shall give thee light. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. Right? Walk circumspectly, man. Hey, keep your head on the swivel, man. Take good care of your goings. Watch how you move out here. Right? Watch who you deal with. Stay humble. But it says, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Right? Evil times, man. The scriptures say, how's it go? A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hides himself. Right? How you going to hide yourself? By taking heed to these scriptures, man. Taking heed to the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. That's how you're going to receive that protection, right? Receive that cloak, right? So you can be hid from all this madness that's about to take place. It says, therefore be ye not unwise, but understand what the will of the Lord is. You see? And that's to all the tribes. That's to all the tribes, man. Hey, y'all gotta wake up, man. Right? Understand what the will of the Lord is, man. The Most High is prepared to remove America from existence, and anybody that's attached to it. Right? And if you don't want to be removed, if you don't want to be eliminated, hey, then take heed to the word, man. Right? Understand what the will of the Lord is, man. Repent or perish. That's it. All right? So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close it out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua B'Hashem, Racha HaKodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Until the next time, I'm going to say Shalom and Kwam Yasha Allah.